welcome back to Built by Bo. Today we're just out cruising with Smokey. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. I've been driving Smokey every day as my daily driver, working out a few minor bugs here and there. It has been pretty good, not a lot of problems. I've just been doing a little bit of tuning and just a little bit of tweaking and so on. So I've been driving it, and now as the weather is a little bit cooler, I noticed a little bit of a smell from the heater, and I was suspecting the heater core was leaking. The coolant wasn't going down or anything, but I definitely could smell it when I turned the heater on, so I thought I better do the heater core just in case, instead of having it pop at an inconvenient time. So I'll show pictures up above of what the heater core looked like when I changed it. Definitely 100% needed to be changed. It was starting to have pinhole leaks all over the place, so I'm happy to have that taken care of. Once I had the dash all apart, I had found out that someone had been monkeying around and cut the factory stereo wiring, which is super common in these cars. They try and put a kit in, and there's a factory amplifier, and they can't get any sound, so they just hack up the wires. And I've seen it on 2 or 3 cars that I've done over the past little while, and I had to fix up. eBay does sell a factory Ford style harness that you can reconnect to the harness, which I'll show you up above here. There's a link. I'll put a link in the description as well as show you the part, and I'll show you a little clip of the butchery that they've done behind the dash here. I have a wiring diagram, and I'm going to wire this factory harness style connectors back in, and then put a factory stereo adapter kit in as needed. So we're out for a cruise. I'm going to show you how the car turned out. I've done quite a bit of polishing, and I've got it pretty much as good as I think I can get it without having a professional do it. So I'll see you up here, and I'll show you the car. Maybe we should see if this thing will light them up. Not too bad. That's about 16, 17 pounds of boost. Oh, and the head studs finally came in. I finally got a word that the ARP head studs are in. So we are going to get the head studs in this on a future video, and we're going to crank up the boost. Hopefully the wind isn't crackling on my microphone too much, but this is how we've got the car sitting so far. So you can see my quarter panel after polishing, it's a little bit better. It's still, certain lights it's noticeable and certain lights it's not, but the color definitely isn't perfect, and I'm definitely not 100% happy with it, but it's so much better than it was before that I'll take it for right now. So put the aftermarket 16-inch wheels on. Painted from moldings down, which you can't notice that because that's a break of the line there. Bumper, you can tell in this area right here on the bumper that the color is a little bit off. Again, at certain light you can't tell, others you can. Very hard to match this color, but again, I'll take it for beat up as it was before, and how good it looks now, I'll definitely take it. So put in the Cobra R grille, LMR headlights. Again, if you have been watching the build of this car and you want to see the rest of the build of this car, I've got it from basically ground up, from everything I've done is all on YouTube, and it's all on my page, Built by Bo, and it's under the playlist Smokey the Fox build, and you can watch this in order from pulling it out as a 4-cylinder and putting the turbo in, and all the stuff that I've done to the car right now. You can see it all. So all in all, Smokey's looking pretty good. As far as the interior goes, I've just cleaned everything up. It's just got mostly factory interior except for the seats. So this all cleaned up pretty well. It's got your normal, scratches and all the stuff that it gets over the years from having stuff rattling around the trunk, but this car's pretty clean otherwise. I put these reactive seats in. So I'll show you the stereo wiring video and that stuff coming up here. Obviously we've got the freshly built 2.3 turbo motor. Got our intercooler kit buried in there. Everything built by Bo. So there you go. You got a bit of a rundown on the car, and we'll move on. Oh, but wait. What's all that stuff? That black stuff? Huh. Interesting. I don't know what happened there. Looks like rubber. As I mentioned before, this is what I was talking about. So the dash is all back in right now. The new heater core is in place. But on all these cars, or not all, but majority of these cars, someone has butchered the stereo amp wiring. So I've seen this on the last 3 cars I've worked on where they just cut the harness and didn't put the adapter thing in. It's only like 25 bucks for the adapter. So I've ordered from Amazon. I'll put a thumbnail up above of the link of, it's an actual, replacement body side connector for the stereo, and then you have to buy the other connector that would go to your aftermarket deck, and then you can get a wiring diagram like I have and match up the wires as per the wiring diagram, solder them all back into place, and then you're good to go again. We don't like to see this kind of garbage in these cars because it's just a butcher job. Okay, so when you're doing the repair, the Metra harness connector for the car side is a 71-1770, and the stereo harness is a 70-1770. So this will be the car side harness. This is what you're going to get here, is the car side stuff. Unfortunately, this stuff is the same color as the stereo harness and not the same colors as the car side. So you need to print off your wiring diagram and make sure that you have the same colors. And then you're just going to match up those colors as you go. All right, so what you should end up with is this. Now I used a shrinkable crimp connector. I shrunk every line separately and then wrapped it in the same style of tape that the factory uses, which is like a fabric sort of hockey tape, but it gives it a way cleaner look, makes it look like it's supposed to be there, and you get away with this gross, disgusting mess that's just a pile of crap. So now we have a nice factory style connectors that we are now going to get the other Metra connectors, tie it into your aftermarket radio, and now it's just plug and play. You just put the stereo back in. So let's go. So once you plumb your wires back through, they're going to stick through the hole like this. You're going to take your stereo wiring, you're just going to plug into it, and you're going to tuck this all back inside, slide your radio in, and you're good to go. Now anytime you want to swap your deck, then you've got a factory breakaway again, and you don't have any butchered wiring that's going to get shorted out or anything in the back there. So I'm going to get the stereo back in now and button this thing up and go from there. I think I blew a boost pipe. No power. You see, what I like about testing a car before I get rid of it or while I'm building it is you find the weak link. So in that burnout, we blew the wastegate right out of the pipe. So something to fix, something to improve. We'll get her done. Okay, a little update on the blow-off valve situation from today, doing those big burnouts, and the blow-off blew off. Now, I wasn't a real big fan of this style blow-off because inside here is just a little C-clip, and in order to squish the O-ring and get that C-clip in, it was a bit of a pain in the ass. and I thought I had it, but I wasn't really happy with it, and I don't think I had the C-clip in quite all the way. So what I had to do is just squeeze this really gently, but as tight as I possibly could. Then I got the C-clip in there, and then I took some needle nose with the funny jaw on the end, and I managed to squeeze it and get it snapped into place a lot better. So now this is like really sturdy and stuff like that. So assuming I had it just not quite locked in all the way, maybe half of it was locked in and not the other half, but like I said, it's pretty hard to tell. But that's all back together and we're all good to go. So thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like the videos, and just remember that there is a whole album on this car if you're interested in the build. And until then, I'll see you next time when we're going to put the ARP head studs in this thing, and we're going to crank up the boost. Thanks again for watching. We'll talk to you soon.